Hello and welcome. I'm your host Elizibar, and I promised like a week ago do a review of this. And if you're like me and you're looking at the title of this, you're obviously thinking that's Armor Eye. So like when I saw this, I thought it was like some kind of clever play off of like Armory or something like that, and I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of clever. Turns out I'm just wrong. It's Armor One, number one, and two and three. I got all three issues. You can see them up there all lined up. There's a crowdfunding campaign going on for issue 4 right now, so check that out if you like what you see. I am doing this because Marcel Dupre, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, was like, yo, would you like to do a review of this? And he sent me these issues to do a review. So here we are. So there's your full disclosure. All right. First, let's zoom out a little bit so you can see like the whole cover. So as covers go, like this one feels kind of menacing, right? You've got this big, glowy, like robot suit. You got a guy running from it. Like, well, there's certainly something kind of interesting going on here. Here's the credits. Nobody cares. And then we open up our story. That's not true. That's just me being silly. But we open up our story here. We got some dudes that are obviously aliens back here. A guy with a weird name named Kaizen. And Lord Noviden's men are coming. And so it turns out that this dude is stealing like some secret super weapon from an alien overlord. They're the weaponaries. Hey, there they are. I can't just leave you guys like this. The weaponaries do not turn our backs on each other. Don't worry about us. If Noviden gets his hands on the vial, the whole universe will be doomed. Talk about melodrama right there. But that's okay. Classic comic book stuff is full of this kind of melodrama. I don't know if you've ever played the game Freedom Force, but it's basically founded on an idea that's very similar to what this book turns out to be. Now, I gotta admit, when I saw this stuff, I don't know if it was the campaign for issue 4, or if I'd somehow seen like some of this older material, priorly made material, whatever you want to call it, but I figured, oh, this is gonna be like some kind of Teenage Iron Man ripoff, right? That's what I was thinking. Well, a little bit wrong on that. So you've got like this alien stuff, and the dude flees, and of course he goes to Earth. I mean, we wouldn't have much of a story on Earth if he didn't go to Earth, right? Okay, so that's plot thread number 1. Plot thread number 2 in this first issue, we got this dude right here. We got his family. There's his son. There's his daughter. And I absolutely just love the way her hair looks in this panel, by the way. I think it's awesome. I do love the expressiveness on a lot of the characters' faces. Here, it's very cartoonish and stylized, but I really like how it looks. Like, it's exaggerated, but it's fun. I also love the transition from the top left panel here, boom, to the bottom, well, I guess it's like the middle panel, but like this like steely, contemplative, and then he's just like, at his sister. It's awesome. So we meet this dude and his family, and this dude right here is our main character. Okay, you got it? Great. Whew. All right, there's a lot to cover, man. We got 3 issues here. So we meet the family. Then let's go to 11. And now we see what life is going to be like for our dude here as he's going into high school. Look at him. He's just walking in. And then we have a nerd beatdown occurring right here. Frankly, I have no idea what any of this experience of high school stuff is like. So this is all just kind of, it's like Alien. Now, this all leads up to like a confrontation and stuff, and bullying, and all those sorts of things happen. And frankly, I think we could have cropped a lot of this first issue down. Like, I don't think we needed the preamble with the escape from the alien overlord stuff. Like, I think we could have just like led right up to basically how this issue ends, with maybe some of this stuff of him getting introduced to what life is like here in town. Like, we got to meet the main character, right? So that definitely should have stayed in. I don't know what else I would have cropped down, but I think I would have found a way, maybe, and I'm saying this, with the benefit of hindsight, but a way to sort of combine issues 1 and 2, because issue 1 has all this stuff leading up to him getting rocket boots. That's not really what he found, but He found the weapon, and the weapon can transform into various things. It's adaptable. So here he's got the weapon doing like rocket boots. He can do other stuff with it. Pretty cool. But I think, like maybe if we had gotten a fight into the first issue, even if we then had the flashback in the second issue, that might have been a stronger narrative hook to pull people in. I'm not sure. I do like this page though. All the like little energy crackle stuff. I think that's pretty cool looking. And the little creature suit thing itself, like definitely weird and cool looking. It's very adaptable, changes shape all the time. Looks pretty cool. So I want to show this page off, and then he gets chewed out by his dad for stuff that happens. You'll have to read the first issue to find out what. And look, he tells us like how that all that went down. I found this by the crashing spaceship that I found while walking in the Force. Go to your room. I'll see if your story checks out. And I'm showing this page not to spoil issue 1, but just for Dad right here. Look at that. Yeah, really simple panel, but the red in the background is nice. Like the kind of menace here. Like Dad's looking at this, and he's like, "Wait a second, wait a second." He makes a phone call. Meanwhile, the kids are doing kid stuff, developing, growing into characters, letting us explore their lives and all that. Let's jump to page 12. I wanted to come here. I was going to show this dude off in issue 1, but then I was like, I'll just show him off here. Like, look at this guy. He's pretty cool, right? Like, blue and green modeled, like, Snake Man. The orange vest is a good colors choice because blue and orange are opposite on the color wheel, so they're complementary colors, so it works really well. That's why you see, like, green and purple on comic book characters a lot, too. But yeah, it's a good choice on him. This dude with like the purple and the orange, if we're comparing his design to this design wins every time. So they land here. These are dudes like chasing down the runaway guy, right? They're clearly the bad guys. Like if you haven't figured it out, because one of them is a horrifying blue snake man, they're the bad guys. He gets, some clothes off of Scarecrow. And he does some freaky magic stuff. I guess that's why you chose me. I will get him soon. Release. I don't know what he sounds like, but when he says release, that's kind of what it sounds like in my mind. It sounds like real low evil. And just kind of show you, like, we do get some action in this issue. So, the creature released by that dude tracks down our hero, and they start a fight. Now, even in the middle of the fight, this book is making, like, pointing out, like, modern life, which is everybody has a cell phone. That factored into this issue earlier. I'm not going to tell you how, but it factors into it here. Hey, what are you doing? So cool. Stop recording, or I'll... Well, he gets yoinked off to the side. I almost spoiled the fight, so we're going to not show any of it, but there's some nice looking stuff. Got no problems with it. A lot of the art in this, the aliens, the dude's suit, those kind of things, I really like how a lot of that stuff looks. I'm a little less sold on how the people look sometimes. I know they're in the background, but come on. You might as well just like left. I don't know if that's a guy or a girl or what, but you might as well just left that person out and this person over here with the literal egghead. Like, you could have just not drawn them and just had the one dude leaning in right here. And it would have been just fine. You didn't need to crowd the background. Actually, I'm looking here. Shouldn't we be seeing this guy's legs? Well, maybe he's leaning and his legs are hidden behind her. I think that's what's going on here because he's like this shadow right there, right? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's enough. So I really like the, hey, we're showing like how the modern world works, because a lot of times in stories, like, okay, take your typical horror story, right? It doesn't work if people have cell phones. So you have to work around the cell phone. You have to break the cell phone or whatever. Here, we just got somebody recording. Although this is a Nokia. Do they even still make phones? I have no idea. I have no idea, man. Alright, issue 3. This is where things really start coming together. So, kind of a cool cover. We see our hero in his suit here. He's like, ah! We got this big hulking, like super stocky kind of thing going on. This is like the bad guy, or it's like the member of the team in any image book from the '90s, where you just like, man, we need a dude that takes up like a lot of background, so we don't have to draw background, and so you get like this big hulking dude, and that's kind of like what this guy looks like. I'll zip forward to page 3. So these four dudes here are like they work for secret organization, which I guess we're gonna spoil that the dad like is involved with secret organization, but they like work for secret organization. Oh look, there's dad, and like I kind of like it. Like I don't really know like what they're supposed to look like. Like this guy, he's got like a top hat, a cane, and I think he's got a peg leg in another panel. This is absolutely wild what this dude is doing here. I'm gonna call him Pierre LeFou. Um, that's a that's a reference. Doesn't matter. So we meet these dudes and they get involved. We got aliens involved. Here we are. This is like the continuation, or I guess it's not really the continuation, it's the rematch of the fight from the first issue. And I like the energy in a lot of these shots, man. Like here, sure, it's not detailed, it's a silhouette, but look at it. Like, you get it. He got flung. You got the speed lines here to indicate the motion. It ends up looking pretty cool. Let's see, I went from, 135. Oh, page 16. I think I want to show off this 2-page spread here. That's kind of like the beginning of the big fight. So you've got like aliens here in their power armor and stuff on like flying disc things, doing like the New Gods kind of stuff. They got a cool ship here. Got all these like shade lines on it. Man, it looks super awesome. Stretched out to infinity. Then you got like the secret organization over here, and they've got these big chunky suits and stuff. See, look at this guy. See, he's here to take up space in the background so we don't have to draw a background. I know how this works, man. I have read Young Blood. The dialogue in this issue doesn't pop. A lot of the dialogue earlier on, especially between the brother and sister, it's got like a real poppy feeling to it. This is a little chunkier, a little stilted, and maybe that's okay because this is like, the formal meeting between two countries that have never met each other before, so it's probably okay. There is also, and this is like stuff should have been caught in editing. Right here. Where is the contents of the ship? So either you take the S off of here, where's the content of the ship? Or maybe it does work. But I think it would probably read better if it was where are the contents of the ship? Because contents is a plural. So you need are up here instead of is. That's a little thing. But that's the kind of stuff you're supposed to catch in editing. And I also wanted to point out something on page 12, very similar. And you also get a look at some more of the aliens and stuff here. So you can kind of like see, here's like the alien overlord. Here's that guy in the big chunky power suit. There's the guy that was just talking to the secret, Earth organization. There's Snake Man. But right here, let me zoom in just a little bit, make that text bigger. Yeah, you shouldn't be mad. It's Severant. You should have handled things like me. Should be handled. You should have handled things like me. So there's a couple of places in here where there's some little grammar mistakes that have snuck through, and that was kind of off-putting. When I ran into this bubble in particular, it totally just yanked me out of what I was doing. Mega bummer. Uh, there's a couple other ones in here that I remember seeing, but when I went back to look for them, I couldn't find them. So maybe I was just like speed reading too fast and misread something. I don't know. I really like the Snake Guy's design. Like, he's just too cool. He's too cool. I like these little like hollow spheres or whatever these are supposed to be too. That's a really simple but effective design. So all in all, this was a pretty interesting story. I don't know if it's necessarily my jam. It combines a lot of things that I like. Aliens, cool super suits, government conspiracies, but it also combines stuff that I don't necessarily like so much with that flavor, which is the high school stuff. Like that doesn't really work for me. Like it's okay sometimes, like, Static, pretty good stuff. has a lot of high school stuff in it. Works great. I didn't mind that there. I don't think we've seen enough of that to really know how it's going to fit here. But like you go back to, say, the early part of Invincible, and frankly, the high school stuff, the secret identity stuff, all of that is kind of like the weakest link of that story. And it gets much more interesting like once he like graduates and they're like doing the college thing. At least that's my opinion. You should feel free to like differ opinion wise with me on that. So I think that that part of this maybe is the weaker part. And I think we spent a lot of time in issue 1 setting stuff up when we could have spent more time in issue 1 having some action, and then we could have backfilled some of the story going through the succeeding issues. I think maybe that would have been a better hook to grab people's attention. But all in all, this is pretty cool. If you like what you're looking at here, like go on Kickstarter, find the campaign for issue 4, take a look at it. You might just look at it and go, boy, I really like the Blue Snake Man, because I really like the Blue Snake Man. He is like got the coolest design. There's no eyes, man. There's no freaking eyes on this dude. I love it. It's so weird. I also love her little like flat look over here. Like she's just like, I can't believe I'm having to say this, but here we go. Like there's a little like this eyebrows like twitching, you know, if she was like drawn in higher definition and was like a guy, there'd be like a vein bulging out on her forehead right here. At least that's how I'm reading it. Maybe that's the wrong interpretation, but that's how I'm totally getting down with it. So those are just the thoughts that I have in the, 10 minutes or however long after I read all 3 issues here. And it might be your jam. Check it out. So until next time, you have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.